Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you arguably one of the craziest sieges I've ever had in Shogun 2 or Total War in general. I'm fucking exhausted. It's like, I'll tell you the exact time. It's actually 1:40 a.m. It's not that bad. I am facing 3 full stacks of Yusugi. And these are not chumps. These are highly experienced Yari Ashigaru. These are lawn swords. I'm playing with 2 mods. The Master of Strategy, as well as a... what's it called? Damn it. It's like a unit customization mod. So basically the units are more varied in the way they look like. So here we have Bow Samurai. We have more bow samurai, and here we have a unit of katana goshi, or just katana samurai, and these are the generals. Now the way in which they've deployed is they've completely surrounded my fort. They have archers here, archers and spears, and the vast majority of their melee force is centered around here. The way in which I've deployed on each side of the wall 2 units of lawn Yari Ashigaru, or Nagai Yari Ashigaru, supported by 2 Taichi on the back, just in case. Sometimes it's Yaris. Here we've got Naginata Yari Ashigaru, which are basically, they're very excellent, very cost effective. But when you're facing overwhelming numbers, cost effectiveness is not really something you really want. What you want is complete tactical supremacy, and this is something that only Lawn Yari Ashigaru can give you for, when playing as the Oda. Just so you know, Master of Strategy is so good that Yari Samurai are actually good. I think my sound's a little too loud. That Yari Samurai are actually good because they can form Yari Wall. So let's just get this started. I see this and I'm like, okay, this is freebies. So I'm gonna move my cavalry and just surround this. The reinforcing army, we've got more Yari Ashigaru, and as you can see, they all have chevrons. It's not an easy army. Look at that, 5 XP here, 4 XP, 4. I think some of his archers I've seen had like 6 or 7. And I only have 1 on my Oda Lonyari. This is their first battle, and it's my first battle. This is my first time using them. I also have a camera mod, so if I miss out on anything, I'll be able to catch it, hopefully. Bit of a micro mistake. I lose 4 horsemen here. Just in terms of raw numbers, I think I've got like 3,000 troops, tops, or maybe 2,600, and I'm facing about 10,000. So yeah, it's gonna get a little hectic. One thing players do when playing Shogun, they tend to hide in the fort. The fort is a death trap because archers can really fuck you over. What you want is you really want to take advantage of the slopes. Especially if you have a big army. If you have a really small garrison, obviously try and use the wall because climbing it is a bit of a hassle, but you really want to use the slope, and it's there for a reason. So I'm going to show you guys a bit of a micro tactic I have. Micro tactic. So you walk up your horsemen. I made them run, and when the archers begin to fire again, I start to run to sort of outpace their bows, and as you can see, I basically dodged all of the incoming fire. Only lost 1. One of them, there were 2 units. We get a complete surround. Melee is about to begin. I instantly Yari Wall, and these units are gonna get crushed. Absolutely fucked. We do have Bow Ashigaru on the top, just supporting on every side. So if you just look at this here, the biggest slope thankfully is where the enemy army is coming in, and I've noticed here that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 units of bow, and I've got most of my infantry here, so I'm just going to charge in and try and swoop in with my cavalry. They're getting crushed here in the melee. Not able to contest. Same over here. Here I've got the Naginatas, and you also have to remember that Naginatas are more flexible than Yari walls because they can move around, so I do have that in my favor. And here I just threw them into melee because I've realized that this is basically like where they're going to be funneling in. And you see massive units. All the swarm is coming in here. If we pull back here, I didn't bother to Yari wall, I think, here. I didn't really see the point. They're just Bo Ashigaru, and these ones have 6 XP. So I charge in here into their flanks. Absolutely devastating. Here I've got a slightly not really a cost-effective fight because it's my Tai Chi, and I don't even get the charge off. I'm just going to pause here. One thing I had in my campaign is I think these guys have maybe +1 armor, but I did have a trait that gave them +2 attack. So although they have 3 XP, they're probably fighting closer to as if they had 4 or 5. So yeah, we get a nice surround here. What's going on here on the flank is, well, on this side, I decide to move a spear here because I'm almost convinced that the AI just wants to funnel into here. And so I think it's better to defeat all of this and swoop back than to do the opposite. Especially since I'm crushing here. So I'm like, okay, I'm crushing here, I'll crush here, and then we'll just finish. And we'll just see how that unfolds. So here, once again, complete into the slope. Now I'm moving to Yari wall here because there's a huge melee blob coming in. And the Taishi were just supposed to buy time. I wonder which unit here fled. I think it's these guys. Yeah, the Naginatas broke. And this is going to cause like a complete disaster because I was just trying to defeat this part. But the katanas just held on, and because the katanas were able to hold on, I was able to get flanked instead of being able to respond. Like I tried to like pile in my units on the flank, kind of like Pac-Man, if you will. Like I can't really describe the image, but it's just one line kind of eating it, and I couldn't really get it going here, and so I end up getting surrounded, and that's a big mistake on my part. Same thing happens here because these Naginatas faltered. They're kind of enveloping, and if Yaris are insanely dangerous from the front. The problem is if you can swoop around from the back, you get fucked. So here, once again, kind of just pushing through, and now my units are kind of dragging onto the water, so it's a little unfortunate for them, but it is what it is. And I was really hoping that if I could get a mass route, the entire army could break before reinforcements arrived. But because I'm a little slow, units are just slowly just piling in, so we have more Yari Ashigaru with 4 XP, more Yumi Ashigaru with just Bo Ashigaru, and I'm just like, fuck my life. But you can, I know my PC's starting to kind of lag when you see all these bodies, but you could tell like these guys have done work. This is just enemy bodies, nothing else. Like this is basically like a phalanx on steroids. And this entire flank has collapsed just because of these Katana Kaichi. Where are they? Katana Goji, actually. Where are they? I don't know. Oh, these are 2 Bow Samurai. Yeah, that also makes it difficult for my archers. So my cavalry is just swooping in, and I'm just like, okay, I'll be able to crush this. This is so easy. They're wavering. They're not gonna last. Yo, man, these units are just piling in, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set up a little perimeter here and try and take up this forward position. I'm trying to reform my troops wherever I can. So this unit of Oda Yari come back. So I'm gonna put him back in the fort and just try and keep the slope. Trying to make like a formation here where I can keep some semblance of, I can keep coherence. Trying to keep the Taichi as sort of auxiliary troops just on the flanks to secure. This is kind of bad, but it's okay. So I move in here just to save face, but sometimes units engage weirdly, but that's okay, I suppose. Oh yeah, so here we have another really big wave. The second wave is basically coming in, and this one is going to be a lot more brutal because my units are getting tired. if you can tell. And they're climbing onto the walls, and man, oh man, I only have like bow units and 1 unit of Lawn Oda, so I can defend it. I'm trying to place them here, but what ends up happening is they get attacked in their rear, and instead of facing forward, they just face autistically on the other side. Here I'm charging my cavalry against these bow, but I can't break them because I'm so tired. So my cavalry is just not effective anymore. It's basically mobile shit. What are these? These are just Nagai. Once again, for some reason, they just face the wrong way, and it just ended up being super cost ineffective that way. I don't know. There's like huge pathing problems in Shogun 2. I don't know how hard it is to just make a unit face the right way. Like, I didn't even notice this. I was just like, why are we losing? But now I see. So I formed up a secondary line. I'm like, as you can see, they're advancing in Yari wall, so they're just getting smashed. We're pushing up here. Notice how they engage with their katanas. Huh, interesting. Here too. So I'm trying to like envelop this, but I know it's just not enough. My goal here was to use my light cav to kill his general. But seeing as this might not be a possibility, I really don't want to lose my general, so I just pull him out. Here I'm engaging once again to flank, and there's still reinforcements coming, and I'm starting to think to myself, am I actually going to lose this? Like, I did this so well. There's no way. I'm trying to get these Taichi Ashigaru to go up the wall, but they're being impeded by the bow samurai. These guys are completely out of ammo. And as you can see, they're kind of wearing rags, or they're not wearing armor, is what I'm trying to say. Trying to set up a flank here, but the katanas are back. Really a thorn on my side the entire battle. We managed to rout this entire thing, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I'm looking at these units, I'm like, okay, they're all archers, so probably no more reinforcements. However, if I do decide to charge, it's going to be very difficult for me because I might get a lot of casualties. Like, these are still really high XP archers. So, I mean, if you want comparison, rank 6 Boashigaru have the same accuracy as Bow Samurai, but instead of having 120 models, they have 160. So, technically speaking, this is like an upgraded Bow Samurai, and that's really how you have to look at it. Now, they suck in melee, but I do think they also have higher morale, so I have to be careful. And these bow shots are very punishing. I lost like 20 guys here in between that volley. So I'm trying to think, well, do I want to pull back inside the settlement and sort of push the archers into it, or do I just want to pull back and charge down? This was my decision, and we'll just see what I end up doing. But as you can see, absolute carnage. I can't really zoom in because I hate low frames, but if you could just see, it's just a graveyard of purple. There's very few yellows, and these ones that are spaced out are just done so by bowfire, if you really think about it. These ones are clearly due to us routing, so when the unit fled. Here you can see how I can't really tell, just too much lag. Anyways, I'm trying to get the flank here. It's not really working out. I'm hoping that these... I want to execute that dude. I'm really hoping that these Oda Yari aren't going to flee, but I see them, that they're placed like right at the bottom of the river, or the lake, or the moat. Is it moat? I don't know. So anyway, I'm charging in my fucking Oda Yaris. I didn't put them into loose formation. I think I do here. No, I just put them really thin, and I'm just gonna Yari wall. I'm keeping my general back. Now, one thing in Master of Strategy, all generals have hold firm, war cry, and rally. So a Yari wall right before we engage, so that we can like tickle them with these spears. Look at how they just move. Anyway, I think these guys are also on Yari wall. But anyway, my general's super tired. He can't really do melee. The only thing he can do is Warcry. And as soon as the general died, I saw Shaken and Wavering. So I'm like, okay, if I use Warcry, I can get one unit to route. So I Warcry and boom, shattered. Problem, the other two units didn't want to flee, so I'm like panicking right now. We managed to defeat this flank, and the other one started to waver, but there's not much I can do. Like, I don't want to lose my general. He's still not dead. I'm gonna see if I can find him. Where's the little things on their backs? But I think it's this guy. Yeah, it's him. Rubber banding much. So I'm trying to get my units all the way at the back just to get him to flee, and all these arrows being fired really made me fear for his life. But the bastard actually pulls through. Same thing here. These guys are confident, but they're still steady. So they're still fighting. And Bowfire crossed the river. 10,000 men later. Victory seems to be near. I still have all of these units, and so I'm pushing them out to just, I don't give a damn anymore. I just want to win this. I do have a unit here of Oda Yari, 42 men. Man, if I had lost and it's because I couldn't bring these guys, I would have been super pissed. Yeah. So we're just pouring through, and I think once we broke this, this started to waver, this started to waver. But the balance of power was quite even. And yep. Jesus fuck. So yeah. Alright, let's just, I don't even want to go through these bodies anymore, but holy shit, that was a lot. We lost a lot of men here. And I'm surprised that the reason why we lost the first like kind of line of defense here was simply because of pathing. That's really disappointed. I decided to chase here. I'll take another unit, and I don't give a damn. Hell, they don't deserve to live. So yeah, they're just walking up to their deaths, afraid of the water like monkeys. Look at them. Please kill us. It's like a meat grinder if you really want to think about it. Yeah, Oda Yari blending. Holy shit. Yeah. We're all completely exhausted, and the troops are celebrating. Hard won battle. The rice picking farmers of feudal Japan break the Yusugi. I'm gonna show you the kills. It has to be shown. So we had 3,000. We lost 2/3 of our army, and we killed 9,600. In terms of the units killed, one of my Oda Yari killed 1,300. Another one killed 900. Another one killed 800. 780, 680, 666, 626, 537. Everybody really had to pull their weight here, you know? No fucking around. And then Aginata, you know, they did okay. Like, not really, you know? Mayumi, I mean, these guys did really well. I think one of my Yumis just got completely decimated because they fought the katanas. And yeah, see, their two best units were one unit of Yaris and then Bo, and then those katanas that gave me a hard time. It wasn't so much their melee prowess, it was more so that it's this tenacity to just not route. Katanas are really good for that. Because they have high melee stats, their deaths don't come as a shock to the unit. So they kind of just have a higher morale than they seem to give away. So I'll just give you an example. This is just my understanding. Could be wrong. Alright. So as you can see, these two units have the same morale. But the 6 to 7, now Oda Yari are actually broken. Let's just see this. It doesn't fit my worldview. You know what? I take it back. Maybe it's, I don't know if armor is just extra melee defense. I don't know how armor is calculated in this game. But yeah, I presume that the increased melee defense, and I suppose armor at that point, just to consolidate my point of view, because I actually thought the melee defense was going to be, the difference was going to be a little bit more drastic, but you know, maybe this is the actual case for Naginatas, which is what makes them tenacious. But yeah, because morale is more so about like the rate at which units die, and if your units die too quickly, then they rout. So even it would be the same thing for katanas, but katanas have pretty good stats, so it's hard for you to kill them quickly enough for their morale to break. Instead, it's just a grind. Yeah. Despite the fact that, as I said, Oda Yari are broken. Anyway, thank you for watching.